Tehseen Poonawalla. Mr. Poonawalla, this is where the BJP always falls back on the other cases and says, look, he's a habitual offender. And Kapil Komireddy, who is an author, he's no fan of the Prime Minister or the BJP, has come out and said that Rahul Gandhi is hoist on his own petard. He refers, of course, to the ordinance that was torn up and also of his repeated indiscretions, alleged indiscretions. So this was bound to sort of come back and hit him. And it has hit other politicians. They've been perhaps, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for Rahul Gandhi, but perhaps a little more repentant and have apologized. Rahul Gandhi hasn't.
Grateful for having me on the show, Rahul. Thank you so much. And thank you to Ishkaran. He agreed to fight anytime for me pro bono. But Ishkaran, the one time 66A was actually put on me. It was the BJP government. I don't know if Karuna will remember this, because she fought this case. The BJP government had defended 66A. Just to put that in context, I want to speak about this case. So while it was brought in by the UPA, the BJP did defend. I've come in after a long time.
Let him finish, please.
The BJP government actually defended 66A in the most honorable Supreme Court and said why it should be there. So, yeah, that's how it was. But thank you, Ishkaran. Look, Rahul, you can say that Rahul Gandhi's speech was perhaps should not have something he shouldn't have said. But that does not require somebody to be jailed. Now, let's go step by step, because a lot has been said. The Representation of People Act, which envisages a punishment for somebody who's committed a criminal offense, the act itself, the intent of the act is for criminal offense, say a murder, a rape, somebody is robbed, something that is defamation. Defamation where in a political speech, Rahul, mind you, it wasn't a conversation, it wasn't he mocking somebody, it was a political speech in which he was taking a pot shot and a jibe at the Prime Minister. Nothing in our democracy stops us from taking a pot shot at a jibe at the Prime Minister. That speech made in Karnataka, a criminal defamation case has been filed in Surat and various other places. Now the rules require that the magistrate, at the very least, hold an inquiry or the CGM order an inquiry before the issuance of summons. That's point number one, because Mr. Rahul Gandhi is not a resident of Gujarat. So if at all, a criminal defamation should have been tried in Karnataka where this speech was made. It cannot be tried it shouldn't have been tried in Surat. Number two, we've never heard, except for one other case in the history of this criminal defamation, of a maximum sentence. And everybody on this panel agrees that that's too harsh. Now let's go into the facts of how this case has gone about. And Rahul, you'll be astounded, and I attribute no motives to anybody. I bow before the magistrate of the Surat court. Rahul Gandhi makes his speech on 13th April 2019. This timeline is extremely important. And the complaint is filed on 16th April 2019. Sanju Verma ji rightly says Rahul ji has other issues or other complaints against him. And one of the important things in a criminal defamation is you go with clean hands. The person who's filed the complaint against Sri Rahul Gandhi ji does not have clean hands. Is an ex-BJP minister, an ex-BJP MLA. I have seen his speeches. He's made a number of speeches against the Congress, against Congress leaders, local and nationally. So he's not going with clean hands. That's point number one. 16th April 2019, he goes to court. 21st June 2021, Rahul Gandhi appears personally in Surat. In March 2022, this complainant appeals to the Surat court to summon Rahul Gandhi again. This is very important. The Surat court rejects it and asks him to go on with the trial and to prove what Rahul Gandhi said is defamatory. This man, instead of going on with the trial and proving what Rahul Gandhi says is defamatory, moves the Gujarat High Court to get a stay on his own trial. Rahul, Karuna is here because Ishkaran's gone. Never have I ever seen a case where somebody who's filed a criminal defamation case wants the person to be summoned the second time. Few days later, on 8th March 2022, goes to the Gujarat High Court and gets a stay on his own case. That stay remains for over a year until the CGM is changed. I bow before the CGM, I attribute no motives. Suddenly this gentleman, the BJP MLA, goes back to the High Court, removes his own stay on the case. And then this case starts in the Surat court. Like I told you, the magistrate does not order an inquiry. Rahul Gandhi's lawyers challenge the jurisprudence, nor does he order an inquiry. Within a month, this trial is conducted and the orders are reserved and maximum sentence is given. I firmly believe that a lot about this case will come up in the High Court. To its current specific charges, what the Congress's legal strategies, I think that is best for the Congress to answer. They would have done better if they had had a lawyer like you or Karuna out here, perhaps. That I think would for the Congress to answer. But what I'm trying to say is everything in this case, in my opinion, does not seem absolutely the way the law should follow.
Okay, but
and I do
second.
think the higher courts will look at it very strongly.
No, obviously, that would entail someone attributing motives to the manner in which this case has been pursued. I mean, come on.
Yes,
you may not
on the petitioner. The petitioner, yes.
Okay, so the court at the end of the day agrees. I mean, I understand that you'll also tell me that once the stay was sought and then he goes back to vacate the stay because he suddenly sees Rahul Gandhi making more statements. So there's that element also that suddenly this case is revived after. So I know that. I've been reading about this, but still coming back to the Jharkhand, for example, High Court, which did not stay this matter. Now, Rahul Gandhi had asked exactly the same case, almost the same comments have been made. So how do you explain that? And Jharkhand, for all practical purposes, at least at this moment, is not ruled by the BJP.
No, I will never say a court is motivated by the government that are in government. I will never say that. But I think it should be very worrying for us, Rahul, as people who do support free speech, that courts, increasingly the high courts, are clamping down on liberty. Look, Rahul, there are a lot of things I don't agree with Sanju, a lot of things. But if Sanju were to ever cross the line, I would be the first to defend a liberty. Liberty and taking away people's liberty, jailing them. Look, freedom of speech must always give you the power to err. However, some may think that is ridiculous.
I understand
even
the principle.
Even if I condemn the Prime Minister
principle.
the strongest words.
I'm with you on the principle. So you're suggesting that the courts, that the courts are advancing.
A very worrying situation.
Okay, so the courts are advancing a very worrying situation. That in itself is a very worrying prospect because the Chief Justice who has just taken over said that the principal concern that he will sort of be led by is about liberty. He said this on record.
Just one last point.
So, one second.
One last point.
Okay, I actually needed to move on to the next debate, but very quickly, Tehseen, I just want to ask you, all this is very well. Why has the Congress party not gone up in appeal to defend their man?
Exactly.
What has happened here? I mean, this is 96 hours, Tehseen. Okay, I think we've lost him there.
Rahul, can I quickly come in for 10 seconds, please?
Rahul, just if I could come in for...
Okay,
May I come in,
one
please?
second. Yes, Ishkan Bhandari, very quickly, and I need to move on to the